Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler video series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that, time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I'm surprisingly on it with my intro today. I got the snap down. I was really, quick with my, with my whole thing. I'm feeling good. Let's keep the momentum going. But anyway, already lost it. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That is definitely the case today. I did just, in fact, get off work a little less than half an hour ago. And I was on my way home, and honestly, I wasn't really planning on grabbing anything. But, I've got a Dunkin' Donuts that I passed by, and I was like, you know what, man, it's been a little bit since I've been to the Dunkin'. At the very least, I want to, I'll just grab myself like a coffee. I'll see if there's anything there worth reviewing. We'll see what happens. Of course, I found some stuff. So, what is it? What am I reviewing for you folks? What are we doing here? Well, and it kind of ties into a review I did not that long ago. Just remove the sticker. So, it happens to be, boom, look at this, and it's got sprinkles and all this stuff. This is their new Vanilla Frosted Donut Signature Latte, which, like I said, kind of ties in because I've reviewed their, just sometime last month, I reviewed their I think it was like blueberry donut muffin or latte or some shit like that. So, but let's go ahead, let's get a thing for the thing. It looks like this. It's like, yeah. And then it does beg mentioning that I've actually reviewed so many Dunkin' items at this point. I have an entire playlist called Dunkin' Reviews, which is just stuff that I've reviewed from Dunkin'. Let's figure this one out. It's iced, by the way, so. Okay. Yeah, I get the feeling this one isn't going to be as good as the blueberry one. Yeah, okay. It's not bad. Like, I want to get that out of the way right now. Like, there's nothing I'm disliking about it. It's a very sweet drink, but you still get the latte flavor of it, which is nice, contrasting flavors. You get, the sweetness with a little bit of bitterness from the latte. It's a fairly smooth drink, but here's the thing. I mean, I guess it's there a little bit. So, the thing that I liked a lot about the blueberry version was that, because it's not just trying to be a blueberry latte, it's trying to be a blueberry donut latte. And I really had to give them a lot of credit in how they made that happen, because it genuinely had, it wasn't just blueberry, it had like a blueberry donut aspect to it. It had sort of like a, kind of almost a richness, a butteriness kind of to the flavor that was evocative of, a donut. This kind of has that, but I think that the problem might be that, I mean, vanilla donut's great, nothing wrong with it, but I think the problem might be that, vanilla in a latte or, any type of coffee drink is a very common thing. It has a certain expectation, your brain kind of forms it based off of previous experiences. My brain has already done that for this. It's like, okay, it's just vanilla in a coffee thing. I do believe that there is something of that donut aspect there, but I think that the fact that the vanilla and the coffee already just go together so well, it's kind of overriding any real donut aspect, so it really just mostly tastes like a vanilla latte with kind of like an undercurrent of, again, that sort of richness, a little bit of a buttery aspect. But you're really not getting the nuances of it. Whereas with the blueberry one, blueberry and coffee, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's certainly nothing new, but it's definitely a more striking difference, and so that richness was able to kind of come through And I just personally feel like, that was definitely the better experience of the two. Um, but again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. It really is just expectation versus reality. It's fine. Um, like I said, I would probably go as far. I would say with this, although you do still get the latte aspect of it, like I said before. I will say, with it being as sweet as it is, especially with like the whipped cream and everything, I would hinge this on almost being a flat out dessert drink. It's like it's obviously not going to be somebody, or not going to be a drink for, someone who is a more stringent coffee user, somebody who just wants the coffee experience. Um, but again, nothing bad about it. It's just, if all I'd ordered was a vanilla latte, I think that this would be a nice surprise, because I do think that there are those other elements there, and I do think they make for an overall better experience, at least within the context of what it is. Um, but again, it's one of those things where, because I have had the blueberry version and I felt like that worked so much better, this just feels very lacking. It's just a very kind of thing, and it doesn't really, make it to the heights that I was kind of hoping when I saw it on the menu. Because when I did the blueberry one, like, that was just a random find. I wasn't really paying attention to the menu besides that. So when I came in and I saw this, I was like, oh, cool, I like the other one. Surely this one will be just as good, if not better. No. But two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? No, and not really. It's, for me personally, again, it's just, I think if I were gonna go over there and get one of these, like donut inspired lattes, I would get the blueberry one, because I think it works better all around. This just isn't. There's nothing unique enough about it for me. It's not, again, not a bad drink, nothing I actively dislike, but it's a little bit meh. And so for me, I'm not gonna bother. I might as well just get something that's unique that I prefer. If I'm recommending it, yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a limited time thing. Try it if you feel so inclined. But if I'm being entirely honest with you, which I am, you're just going to have to take my word for it, though. But, go watch my blueberry one, kind of take away from that, and I think personally you'd probably have a more enjoyable, more unique experience if you go with the blueberry versus this vanilla one. But it's, again, not, I keep trying to be as positive as I can about it. It's not a bad drink. It's mostly just a vanilla fucking latte. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly vanilla frosted donut-tastic rest of your life. Because, yeah, it's not, look, I don't know too many people who would say that vanilla frosted donut is their favorite donut. But everybody's had one. They're always available. Like, they ain't never going anywhere, man. They are part of that donut pantheon. So they're doing something right. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks. Do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, this is one of those instances where you could potentially help me out with this. Let me know if you've tried both of these, the blueberry and the vanilla donut lattes. What's your personal take on them? Is there something to them? Or, did you feel underwhelmed by both? Did you prefer one over the other? Because, yeah, it's, like I said, I personally enjoyed the blueberry one a fair amount. This one's been kind of underwhelming. But yeah, so any feedback would be really interesting to to kind of see, because obviously the preparation is going to vary a little bit from place to place, and might be the case that maybe the Dunkin' Donuts by you, maybe they make the vanilla one a little bit different. Maybe it shines out a little bit more. Maybe conversely, they make the blueberry one really shitty. I don't know. So I like the Dunkin' Donuts I go to. They're very nice people. It's one of those things where it's like they know me enough where it's like, So anyway,